refined rituals of reset, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you said that a few minutes ago. I would like to ask you, what are your refined rituals of reset so that you can stay grounded and keep yourself in this frame of mind as you grow and evolve continuously throughout life?
Yeah. So the first thing that we're learning in positive psychology is um, one of the things that you want to take responsibility and ownership of is the energy in which you live,
Hmm.
right? So when I tell people to, I tell people two things, or I call people to two things. To one is to enjoy your life, and then to enjoy your work.
Hmm.
I love words. I like prefixes because prefixes fix a word, right? They
Hmm.
update. And so when you have the word enjoy, it has two pieces. The prefix en means to make, cause, or create.
Hmm.
So if I ask you to enjoy your work, that is the same root for engineer,
Hmm.
uh, encourage, endure. That in or en means to make or cause.
Hmm.
So there's a shift that happens in your life when you move from happenstance. I'm going to hope that something happens to me or for me, and the happenstance is what makes you happy, right? To being an architect or
Hmm.
someone that makes or causes or creates joy. Joy is a sense of overall well being
Hmm.
that even though it may not be everything on the outside, may not be going well, the inside is settled. It is well with my soul,
Hmm.
right?
That's right.
And I'm optimistic because of where I am and who I am. So there is the fount of optimism. There's a flame of optimism, if you will, that is rooted in a deep sense of knowing who and what you are, right? And whose you are,
Hmm.
right? So I like to say it's like having the pilot light on, even if there's no fire on the stove.
That's right.
It is cast iron hope,
That's
right?
right.
So when we decide to enjoy our lives, um, we've made a decision to be proactive in creating and sustaining joy. And joy really is rooted in having an overall positive patina to your life. So we create it.
Hmm.
And one of the ways that we set ourselves up, mind, body, and spirit, for that is by having a mindset or rituals that generate the positive emotion that you will live in or live with, if that makes sense,
Absolutely. Yes.
right? And so, uh, just a couple of quick things. Number one, I recommend having a morning ritual that puts you in the ready state for the day.
Hmm.
And the components of readiness, the question you ask yourself is, what does ready feel like and what does ready look like?
Hmm.
If I were to walk into my day feeling ready for the day, mind, body, and spirit, what does ready look and feel like? Most people have never taken the time to just stop and go, what does ready feel like? What would it feel like to feel positive and to feel normal? They just kind of go from day to day, from drama to drama, from stress
Hmm.
to stress, but they never have a settled sense. They don't ever have a baseline of joy. So they don't have anything to check against either.
Hmm.
Right? If drama is your set point, then you never know what wholeness feels like. But if you get to wholeness, then you have something to check against. So it took me, and I would express to everybody that's kind of taking this in, that you take some time, and it might take you weeks, it might take you days, just to make an assessment of what ready looks and feels like.
Yes.
Because your job will be, if you can say, if I were to imagine an excellent day in my life, right? If I were to imagine an excellent day in my life, top to bottom, what would that look and feel like? How am I feeling? What's the environment like? What kind of people are around me? What does that energy feel like? If I were to imagine that, what does that look like? If you put that down on paper, if you write out that day in your life, then the next job is to reverse engineer what brings you to that state. What does my mind feel like? What does my body feel like? What does my spirit feel like? Your job is not to copy and paste my morning ritual. Your job is to engineer the one that delivers on ready for you. Right? What brings you to where you need to be, the way you need to show up. And that requires that thing we were talking about earlier, enough self-reflection to really get to know you.
What does ready look like?
So my morning ritual, because I'm trying to create or generate this positive emotion in my life, my morning ritual revolves around me getting up really early in the morning. So I have space. I have a buffer before I engage my family and engage the world. I need some time. I need a little time to kind of get into my space. So I do something that is called 5-5-5.
Okay.
Right? 5-5-5. So one of the things I do is I write in a gratitude journal every morning.
Okay.
So gratitude journaling is a way to generate positive emotions. Scientifically proven to generate positive emotions. You write down 3 things for which you're grateful every day. Right at the top of the day, 3 things for which you're grateful. After you write down 3 things for which you're grateful, you write down 3 things that I will do or what would make the day great. Right? The science of that, this is all about wiring too. This is about wiring the brain. But the science of it is this. We are what Martin Seligman at Penn says, we are not Homo sapiens, sapien being wise. We're Homo prospectus. We're prospecting. We're prospecting for what we're expecting.
Ooh. Prospecting for what we're expecting.
Right. If your expectation is negative, then you will prospect to affirm or confirm that experience. So
that's deep. That's deep, brother.
So what we found happens is when people don't feel a sense of agency, when they don't feel within themselves that anything that they could actively do would make a difference in their outcomes, they start to feel helpless, right? And there is a learned helplessness, and learned helplessness always corrodes into hopelessness.
Ooh, right? Learned helplessness corrodes into hopelessness.
Right. So when a man is hopeless, then he's not gonna. So what happens is when you start to write what you will do to make the day great, you're wiring into your mind that you fully expect to have an impact on the quality of your day.
Expectation.
You're wiring that I make things happen, right? I make things happen. Then you write down a declaratory phrase, I am something. Present tense. I have a little note card that I keep over here on the whiteboard.
Okay.
That's one of my expressions that I wrote down in my journal. This was one of my I am cards, right? And what it says is, I am free, blessed, safe, saved, attracting and creating abundance in every aspect of my life.
Mm.
That's who I am. Because it puts you on the path to look for those things,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you write down an I am phrase. And then at the end of the night, before you go to bed, you grab your journal, and it's best to write this down, and you write down 3 amazing things that happened today. And it doesn't have to be positive to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It just has to be amazing, because most people have learned their best lessons through their worst times, right?
Mm.
But once again, this is about how you frame your life, because how you frame your life is how you see your life. What you're
Woo,
doing
woo,
with that,
don't gloss over that. How you frame your life is how you see your life.
absolutely,
That
100,
that's deep.
100%.
Fellas, pay attention. Don't let that slip. How you frame your life is how
Right.
you see your life. Think about a picture frame. That's
When
what
when
you
you
see.
when you get to the point where you go, things don't happen to me, they happen for me. It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole different ballgame. But when you write down 3 amazing things that happen to you every day, what you're doing is you're journaling against the resistance. And let me explain what I mean by that. Your mind will tell you, man, life sucks. This is not going my way, blah, blah, blah. Let the record reflect that something happens amazing to me every day.
Mm.
Once again, you're wiring into your brain that something amazing is going to happen to or for me today. You're wiring the fact that I can take whatever happens to me and make it amazing, which reaffirms this sense of agency that you have. As you do that on a habitual basis, you start to rewire the brain so
Mm.
that when you wake up in the morning, and it takes about 67 days for the momentum of this to actually start to wire in your brain, but you'll find yourself after about 60 or 70 days, you'll wake up in the morning and the energy you're going to feel is going to shift, because you you'll be on the hunt for things for which to be grateful. You will be anticipating making something happen.
Mm.
Affirm it at the end of the day. So I do this thing, gratitude journaling, and then I do what I call 5-5-5. 15 minutes is literally 1% of your day.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the 1% solution, but 15 minutes is 1% of your day. 5 minutes reading something positive and powerful.
Mm.
Something positive and powerful. I love the book of Proverbs.
Yes, I do
Something
too.
positive and powerful. 5 minutes sitting in silence, meditating, just
Mm.
just listening, maybe even just listening to your breath, but just slowing down long enough to listen, just to be present. Nothing profound has to happen. The maybe the only thing you'll experience or hear is the noisiness of your own mind,
Mm. That's real.
right?
That's
But
real.
just, but just you awakening to the noise, just you being able to separate yourself from yourself for 5 minutes even, awakens you to the noise, and there's a shift that happens just in the level of the way you perceive yourself and perceive life. And then the last 5 minutes I spend slowly walking through the petitions of the Lord's Prayer.
Mm.
This self-emptying, empowering prayer in this regard. The very first word, and this will especially apply to fathers,
Mm.
um, the very first word of the Lord's Prayer is our.
Hour. That's right.
So all the selfishness gets dumped out.
Mm.
Immediately it brings you into being my brother, my
That,
sister.
it connects us.
First of all, it forces you to acknowledge the infinite and that there's a greater will than your own. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In heaven, there's no resistance to the will of God,
That's right.
no committees.
Mm.
Your will be done. And then you go, give us this day our daily bread. I parked there for 90 seconds or 60 seconds or 45 seconds. And I ask God to meet the provisional needs of my life. Give us those.
Mm.
Would you give us what we need? Would you give us, me and my kids and the people that you've given to me, this world of us that you've given me, would you give me not only what I know I need, but would you meet the needs that I don't have sense enough to ask?
Ooh.
Give us this day our daily bread. So we will need things in the temporal realm today, money, food. Give us what we need. Then this liberational part of the prayer where it says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. That's the point where I stop and I say, God, yeah, I need you to forgive me for blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
These are the known things. Would you forgive me for those? But then the things that I don't know. And he goes, absolutely. But I'm going to need you to know the liberty of forgiveness.
Mm.
So that's where I press the clear button on all my relationships and all my whatever. So you don't, grudges are heavy.
Yes, they are. Like an
Anger is heavy.
albatross. Yes.
So I get to empty out that right there. So I go, God, help me to forgive. You know, the person that said that crazy thing to me yesterday, would you just let me lay that down? Then I go, lead us not into temptation. I start there and I go, I got some temptations today.
That's it.
I'm fasting today and I'm smelling waffle fries everywhere.
What they say, the Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want.
Right.
Help your boy out.
So I would also add that I chop this off. It says, lead us not into temptation. I pray for all the temptations that my kids are facing.
Yes.
That I don't know about. But I know I gave some of it to them through DNA.
Absolutely.
I know
yeah, it's
they
there.
got issues that I gave them, right?
It's there. Mm-hmm.
I say, lead us not into temptation, but then I chop it off and I just go, would you just lead us? Would you give me the magnetic pull? Like, would you lasso my heart and lead me to where you want me to be, right?
Yes.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, and all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct or lead. Instead of the Black Fathers Matter, I'm going to wear the reading t-shirt today. Lead.
He led it.
Yes. So I want to feel the tug of your leading in my life today. I want to feel this present tugging, right? Let me feel your presence shaping me. I want to feel the energy of being shaped and led by you, and then deliver us from evil. I stop right there and I go, God, there's evil in the world. I'm looking at all this craziness that's going on in the world. Would you deliver me? In other words, if I'm in a burning house, I passed out because of the smoke, I've lost my capacity to dial 911. I need somebody to see the flames, kick the door in, and drag me.
Get me. That's right.
So God, when I'm in a blind spot today, would you deliver me from evil? So I'll spend 5 minutes just kind of slowly walking through that prayer, parking in those parking spaces for a moment, unpacking those things. And in that 15 minutes, that's what I've done for my spirit.
Yes.
Gratitude journaling is what I've done for my mind. And now the next thing I got to do is I got to go get some exercise. I got to get it in. I got to get it in. I got to give my body what it needs in terms of nutrition and exercise, so that my physical body is awake and flexible and my mind is snapping on all the cylinders. I've given my brain the brain food of gratitude, if you will, that's generating the positive emotions I want to start my day in, right? But then I'm giving my spirit that 555 so that it's nourished. And then the final thing that I do is I look at my list of things to do and I compare my list of things to do to the goals that I've set for the year and the quarter. And I ask myself, am I still on track? Am I still pacing the way that I need to pace in order to accomplish what I have to accomplish? And when I look at my calendar, right, am I on point for all of the things that I need to do today?
Mm.
Right? Am I prepared for the meeting at 10 o'clock? Am I prepared for am I prepared? Because that gives me a sense of swagalicious readiness
Yes.
when I know that I'm gonna walk into the meeting at 11 and I know Bob's gonna ask me about the spreadsheet and I know I'm prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I feel ready.
Mm.
I feel ready. So that's that's one of the things that I say is having this really well-defined and designed morning ritual that puts you in the ready state. So you don't
Yes.
feel like you're behind the 8 ball mentally, physically, spiritually, and professionally. You walk out the door with,
You ready? Look, fellas, pay attention to Hallerin Hilton Hill's refined rituals of reset. This is what he's put together to help define who he is and refine who he is continuously.